Hello, once again. Welcome to another guitar lesson. Today we're looking at some solo techniques and how to improvise on a guitar, starting from the beginners, some concepts which any beginner can adopt if you're trying to help yourself to solo or to improvise on a guitar. Now, when it comes to improvisation, it's just a matter of a personal decision. What you want to play is you're improvising. But obviously you have to try and make sure that it makes sense musically. There are no rules as such when it comes to improvisation, but I know that a lot of people have a difficult time to come up with a concept that will help them to improvise, especially for the beginners. Even sometimes some players who are advanced, who play by reading, sometimes they don't have a concept or how to start the improvisation. The whole thing is your creativity. If you don't know what to play to, there's a guideline you can use to help you at least play something. Now, for my experience or my advice would be to learn the scales. If you learn the scales on the guitar, then you should be able to play something when it comes to improvisation. Now, for the purposes of the video, I'll be using a backing track, which is a high life backing track in the Young Ponsa rhythm in the key of F. Now the progression is F, F7. Just keeping it simple. You go to the B flat, then the C, I'll be playing that in the background. Now, for the beginner, it's important to know your guitar. You get to be familiar yourself with the guitar, the fretboard, the strings, for you to know where the notes are on the guitar, which will help you to, which will guide you on where to start uh, your solos, etc., etc. We're in the key of F here. Now F, the note, if you're looking for the note F, once you familiarize yourself with the guitar, you should know where the notes are. So this is standard tuning: E, B, G, D, A, E. So you know that this is an open E. So this first note will give you F. You also know that this is a B. Where can you get F here? B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. So we'll come here on the sixth fret of the B string. You have an F note. So you can start from there. Normally, for me, when I'm improvising, you can start from any string. You see, you can start from any string. You can start from this string here, string 2, string 3, Now you have to find the F here. If you're not sure, you can always use the strings as a guide, because you know this is a G string, and you know that the 12th fret is the same as the open string. That's also G. So if you come back, F sharp, F, so you have your F here. That's on the 10th fret of the G string. You have another F. You have F here. You have F here. F on the 6th fret of the B. F on the 10th fret of the G. So those can be your two starting points for the solo. Now, when it comes to scales, there are many scales, but I think the one that we are all familiar with is the major scale, right? So once you know the major scale, if you start from the G string here, the 10th fret, so do, re. This is how I choose to play it. Obviously, there are many ways of playing. You can play. Play the re here, or you can play it here. I think if you're a beginner, you know, if you keep everything within your fingers, the space of your fingers, you know, that way you don't have to move your hand much. So the Mi is here on the second string on the 10th fret. So in this position here, the Mi is right under the So, and the La is right under the Mi. So Do, Mi, La, all on one fret. Now the Re is here. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. And you can come again. Do. You have another F here. Do on the 10th. You have another Do here on the 8th fret of the A string. Do, do, do. So you have a major scale here on the F. You can play the F here. So as you can see, if you know where the notes are on the guitar, using the strings to guide you, you find your notes, and then you have your major scale. You can play your minor scales, all the other scales you need. But for this one, we just do the major scale for the purposes of keeping it simple. Now, once you know your major scale, once the song is playing, the easiest thing you can do is just play that major scale up and down, but try and use the timing to sort of fit in the notes how the song is flowing. So let's play this the backing track and see what I mean. So we're just going to play the major scale. I'll start on the 10th fret of the G string. see, that's a very simple way of playing. But you see, your you're not it's a safe way to play it. It's not something too flashy, but at least you're keeping uh, you're keeping time with the music, and you're not playing any wrong notes. Yeah, so that's one of the skills you can use. You can also use a pentatonic scale, which is similar to the major scale, but you don't play the fa and you don't play the T. So do re mi so la do. So you skip out the T, you skip out the fa. Now you can use the same concept playing that what do you call it? Pentatonic. Just playing the scale on the pentatonic. So already you can see we're doing something with the improvisation just from the beginner point of view. Now, another thing we can do is also to use change the you can repeat the notes whilst you're soloing. Okay, so you can repeat the notes in the scale. Again, I'm still on that, looking at it from a beginner perspective. So we're playing the scale or wherever you start from. So repeating the notes. You repeat some of the notes, that'll give you a different gives more variety to your playing. The notes, and you can also change direction, which I've been doing as well. So instead of just going up and down, you change direction. This one you go to the octave using the scale. So you repeat the scale, so you repeat the notes, change the tempo, change direction, and then another way of expressing yourself, instead of going down the strings, you can skip some of the strings. So I'm here on the 10th fret of the G string. Instead of coming to the next string, I can skip. just for beginners who want to skip a string here. These are some of the concepts which you can use for our solos. You repeat the notes, you change the tempo, you can go faster or slower, you can change direction. For instance, you're playing do, re, mi, fa, so, but you come back. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Instead of going to fa, so, you skip the strings. You can also change the articulation of the strings, which is what I've been doing. For example, bending the strings, some of the notes. Personally, I like bending the re. I always like to bend the re. That's my favorite note to bend. Another way of articulation is sliding onto the note. That's another concept you can use. You can also use for more advanced, you can play duets with your solos. When it comes to high life duets, normally you use the some will say sixths, some will say thirds. Now, for me, it's easier when I'm doing the duets to start on the second string. You can start also on the last string, but second string it's a good place to start for a beginner. So this is our F here on the 6th fret of the what do you call it, the B string. Now duet it with this note here, which is the 5th fret of the high E. So do re fa mi so. You see, now the major chords you have, like the 1 and the 4 5. You have your fingers will be closed like this. The minor fa, so, la, ti. So this is some of the concepts I would like to share on the soloing. The main is the scale. Now for another, you can use different scales, of course, to add more color to your solos. You can always add more color by using different scales. Like I said, you can use a major scale, you can use a pentatonic scale. You can use also the blues scale. We use all these combination of scales to go to different modes, but that is going to another more advanced level. It's not so advanced, but at least it's more advanced than the beginner level. So the blue scale, play do, don't play the re, play the sharp 2, sharp 2, 5, B, so 1, sharp 2, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, back to the do. So these are some of my simple ways of helping beginners to do their solos and improvisations. Just an idea. Ultimately, it's down to your creativity, what you do the most. But once you know the skill, that's the first step. Learn the skill, learn how to identify the notes of the key of the song on the guitar by using the strings as a guide. Here's string E, roll up F.